Kevin, what's poppin'? How are you?
Good, good, good. How's it going for you?
Everything is good. I'm super excited for the chat. How's everything been happening in your world?
Very exciting. So many things coming up. So just waiting patiently.
So, Kevin, how are you going through the pandemic? Was it weird for you? Was it crazy? Were you pulling your hair out? What happened?
Well, I was in Korea during the whole pandemic, and I don't know, I was surprisingly calm. We all, of course, didn't know how long it would last, but I was just being patient, like always. I kind of took that year to step back and kind of reevaluate my goals and what I wanted to focus on because the lifestyle I've been living pre-pandemic was just like so busy. I was traveling, doing tours. I was in Japan, America, Korea, but then yeah, spending so much time at home. I was like working on music, working on acting. Uh, Learning how to use like Pro Tools and just like video editing. Just a lot of time spent on the computer as well.
Couple of things. Number one, see, I was the total opposite. I was impatient as hell. I just needed to go out and do something. I admire people that were patient throughout the pandemic because I was like, what is there to do? I felt like there wasn't nothing to do. And I was sick and tired of being in the house with my thoughts. I was watching the same things over and over again. Like I was just
Uh,
over it.
were you on social media a lot?
I felt like I spent a lot of time just like on, first of all, I feel like memes and Instagram
Oh,
definitely got me through the pandemic. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Same here, same here. I started TikTok during the pandemic, and normally I don't think I would have started a TikTok. Just doesn't really fit my personality the best, but then it really kind of grew on me, like the humor on the platform and just how easily everything's shot. Because on YouTube you got to edit things and make it seem like everything seemed really nice and
Right, right.
produced. But TikTok is very raw, which
Mhm.
something that I resonated with, and I kind of got to bring out like this inner humor in me that my fans didn't really get to see. So if you get to see my TikTok throughout this past year, there's just a lot of silly content.
Yo, do you feel like you've connected more with fans during the pandemic because of like social media?
Oh yeah, definitely, like 100%. I've shown them my room, my bed, my kitchen, not my bathroom yet, but
Listen, I feel like a bathroom is sacred.
yeah. But I do know a lot of TikTokers and Instagrammers who do a lot of like bathroom selfies.
Mhm.
Didn't get there yet.
Yeah, before you do it, make sure you clean the mirror because I feel like there are a lot
Yeah.
of there are a lot of people out there with the mirror that has all the toothpaste and stuff on it.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Oh my god.
so what are some of the goals that you set out for yourself?
So one of them being releasing more music, and
Mhm.
that's why I focused on writing music. So prior to being solo, I was in a group, of course, and I didn't really get the chance to write my own lyrics and write my own music in general because the life of a K-pop boy band is just it's just so hectic. So after I went solo, I wanted to focus on expressing my own experiences and emotions and just being more vulnerable to the audience. And that's what I did during the pandemic. And that's why I, really wanted to release this new single that I have out called Got It. And it really just marked a new era for me for sure.
Tell us about Got It.
Got It. Yeah. So Got It is my first single in the US, North American debut single. I'm super excited about it. But it's about a toxic relationship and how, every time you try to run away from something that is isn't really healthy for you, there's some parts of you that kind of gravitate towards that feeling or that relationship, or it could just be anything in general, not even just relationships. So it's kind of like that honest feeling of going back and forth.
I don't know about you, but I feel like those toxic relationships are normally the best relationships.
It makes you feel uh, a lot of things. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. But there's this lyric in the song called "Even though it hurts, it feels so good," and you make me feel so alive. Those are parts of me that I've wanted to address to someone, but couldn't. Because also there's pride and ego. But yeah, I just wanted to, that's the whole art of music, and is you get to write things that you wouldn't normally say to someone.
What better way than put it in a song and letting them hear it, just to let them
Right?
know how toxic they are?
But they don't know. They don't know it's about them.
How could they not? I'm sure the other party knows that you guys were in a toxic relationship and you come out with a new song called Got It all of a sudden.
Well,
Like,
I hope they get the message.
because if it was about, like, let's say somebody wrote a song about me and I heard it and it was like I'm in a relationship, I would be like, you know what? This is about me. I am slightly toxic.
You know what? I hope they understand. If they don't, I'll have to write more songs.
I love that. I love that. I want to
get the point.
that. You know how dope it was to see the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC perform together at that Pride event. That was. Tell me, how was it like being there? How was the energy? Tell me all about that.
Well, first of all, I feel very honored to be one of the few to be at that event because it was a limited capacity event, of course, due to COVID. But yeah, I've interviewed with Joey Fatone and Lance Bass during the pandemic when I was in Korea. I got to interview them on their podcast,
Mhm.
and yeah, since we've had that initial connection, once I came out to LA and shows were starting to happen, I just had to go, and they invited me, and just watching Backsync perform, like that was one of the best experiences of my life because I grew up listening to their music. Everyone has, of course,
Right,
not
right,
just me.
right.
And being in a K-pop boy band, looking up to idols in the U.S., like that was just a surreal moment for me. I was just mind blown.
Yeah, because it happened. Did it happen on a parking structure at the Grove?
At the Grove, yeah.
And it just looked like it was such a good time, and
Oh
they've
man.
never performed together ever. So to be a part of that was amazing.
Yeah. And I remember one of them saying on the stage, like, I don't think you guys will ever see this again. And we
Right.
were just like, it got me goosebumps. I'm just like, wow, I'm really gonna document everything. And I shot everything on my phone. I'm gonna replay it every night.
Could you imagine if they came out and were actually a band together? Do you
Oh
know
my
how
god, all
dope
five
that would be?
and five of them together.
No, like, well, the who performed together at the event? Because I'm saying try to get all of them back together would be like herding cats. You know what I mean? But just like, you know what I mean?
Oh man. But totally like looking forward to another collab from them again. But also just apart from that, of course, their stage presence was just on fire, but they were just such down to earth people, you know?
Mhm, mhm.
Like I got to hang out with them after the show, and they were just talking about life and how they were just so happy to see me in person. And Lance is also a huge fan of K-pop, and we were just kind of like resonating together about K-pop, and it was just like hanging out with like old friends. It was such a cool moment.
It's so funny. I interviewed AJ a couple of months ago, and we premiered his song on the radio, and it took everything in me to not geek out throughout the whole interview because, like, this man is my childhood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure you felt the same thing I felt.
Hmm, hmm.
But just to also see K-pop and pop being in the same room,
Right.
and also me coming from like an older generation of K-pop, it was kind of like coming from similar backgrounds and having that like those two worlds colliding. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the collaborate, not the collaborations, but the covers that you've been doing on
Ooh,
online. And I saw one and I was like, wow, this is so dope. The
which one?
Senorita one? Senorita?
Oh, Senorita.
I was like, your voice is crazy. It's good.
I love it when you call me Senorita.
Kevin, now you're just showing off.
Maybe just a little bit.
Have you had anyone reach out to you wanting to do a collaboration yet? Because they are sleeping if they haven't.
Oh, really? Oh my
I
goodness.
think so.
That's flattering. Thank you. Not yet. I think that's why it was important for me to release "Got It," my new single in the U.S. For me to get my name out there. I know the K-pop crowd and the whole fandom globally has been following me for quite some time now. But just to really push myself as a I guess a rookie artist. It's weird to say because I've been in the industry for 15 years now, which is crazy. I don't, can't
My
even
God. Right.
imagine. Yeah, I don't even remember being in this industry for 15 years, but here I am now. But yeah, just like kind of starting with the like on a blank page, and
Because it's
also
just you.
reconnecting with my American roots. Yeah,
Right. Because it's just you right now.
it's just me, and I've got so much to show, and there's so many artists I want to collaborate with. And speaking of about collaborations, the producer I worked on the song with, Got It. He actually worked with Ariana Grande and The Weeknd on a track called Off the Table, on Ariana Grande's latest album. And that was, you know, I couldn't really wrap that around my head because Ariana Grande and The Weeknd are like my biggest inspirations. And to work with someone who has been in the same room as them, and it was just like a crazy moment. So I hope that my producer gave a good word to Ariana and just like make sure to listen to it at least once. You know.
Bruh. Let's just put it out. Let's just put it out in the universe. Let's put it out there so you can get that collaboration for not just Ari, but The Weeknd too.
The Weeknd, yeah, and I did a cover of his song "Blinding Lights" on my YouTube channel too, and I hope he sees it. I don't know, but hey, you gotta dream big, right?
Absolutely. So what else are you working on?
So right now, I have lots of things up my sleeve. I am also working on a podcast. So yeah, a podcast of my
Tell me all
own.
about it.
I've been working on it for so long now. I'm surprised that I haven't been able to talk about it fully yet, and it's not launched yet, so I can't give you 100% details of what it's about. But
Can. Kidding. Oh.
no, but it is targeted for the U.S. market. Yeah, and it's very exciting. And I've done a lot of interviewing and hosting in Korea.
Mhm.
Interviewing a lot of K-pop artists and idol groups. But doing a similar thing out here, I can't wait to see what happens.
I love that. Any EPs, any albums in the near future or no?
Of course. This is just the beginning. Hopefully, an EP this year and maybe a full album next year, and then go on tour. Because man, I miss going on tour. We all miss live music and meeting people in person. So yeah, I hope my fans are excited and look forward to more content from me.
Well, Kevin, it was a pleasure. I appreciate you jumping on Zoom, and it was such a good conversation, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're such an awesome guy. You got such a positive energy today.
Thank you. And what's funny is how I feel like I am an emotional wreck today. So,
Aw, I hope this lifted you up.
it sure did. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.